This episode of After Dark is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to support the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Thanks for your continued support.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast show for adults from the Boss Rush Network. It's your boy, LeRon Dawkins, in the house, back once again with my wonderful co-host, the ever talented, the very, I don't know, like you intimidate me sometimes, Stephanie. I just want to say that. Like published author.
Stephanie, jeez.
Published author, if I'm not mistaken, like like you've got things going on, and like you've actually done the thing that I want to do, that I'm trying to do before I turn 50 and stuff like that. So you're amazing and you're intimidating.
Thank you, LeRon. That's so nice, because even with all of that under my belt, I'm still a failure in my parents' eyes. So,
aren't we all, though?
You should have married that doctor.
Yes.
Doctor. No, wait, she's already a doctor, though.
I should have also married a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, she is an Asian woman, therefore she will never be successful unless she's married to a successful man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's honestly how all parents think when it comes to their daughters. Like you're not successful unless you've married a successful man.
I have a hard time thinking like just a standard American girl. If she marries like a really hardworking, I don't know, I don't want to pick on any profession, but like if it's like a blue collar, but they're super hardworking and they're great people, I don't think they're going to be like flipping their shit and telling their child that they're a failure. I don't know. I just don't see that in American culture often.
Oh, it's there. Trust me, it's there. It's there because you know what? Hold on, let me finish the introductions, then we'll come back.
Okay, sorry. Hello, thank you.
Of course, back in the house of us is the one, the only PK powered Pat Klein himself. Hey,
If I had a kid that played Minecraft, I'd probably consider them a failure. Just kidding, awesome. Steph. Just kidding. Your kid's cool.
That was great. It's okay.
And the one, the only, the boss man himself, Corey Dirrig.
Word.
Hello,
Corey. I'm here. I'm here too. I'm alive. I promise.
Corey, I want to say this right now, and I want to say this while it's on the record. I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
I love you, man. Like you did a phenomenal job with putting together like the entire like Bossies thing. Yeah,
it was a team effort.
Yeah, it was a team effort, but you basically handled all the edits and everything, and I have not seen the completed the whole project just yet. It's for all you people out there listening right now. It's actually available on Boss Rush on the Boss Rush YouTube channel right now. Head over there, check it out when you have an opportunity. But it's amazing, and you know what? I feel like we did the damn thing.
Exactly. And Corey, you didn't just do it, right? Because you didn't just settle with the basic edits. You spent the extra time to make it as perfect as possible. And
and there's still mistakes. It made me
upset.
It.
You know what? We should do a Bossies every quarter.
That's too much work.
Yeah,
that's too much work.
That is a lot of work.
Maybe something like this for the Metacritic drafts, which that could be its own like sideshow by itself.
Nah, I just wanted to say that to just see what's left of Corey's life, just like glaze, just come out of his ear.
Joke's on you. It's already gone.
That's why I didn't see anything.
To quote Janice Ian from Mean Girls, Pat's a life ruiner.
Oh my God.
Probably.
That's what he does. He's a life ruiner.
That's probably why I'm single.
I do want to say though, all jokes aside, and regardless of how tired I am, I do want to say that I've been doing this type of thing, regardless of how proper or outwardly or public or private it's been, I've been trying to do content creation for 10 years. And I really feel like the reason why I put so much effort into this is because it's kind of a culmination of those 10 years of trying to do something, you know, and make it meaningful and a wonderful experience for, you know, me and my friends. And I think that's why I put so much energy into it, because it's everything I've learned and everything I've done and everything that, you know, that as things evolve, like things get better and things get more visually impressive. And, you know, I'm of course I'm proud of everyone at Boss Rush, but like as a personal kind of thing, this is something that this might be the thing I'm the most proud of in terms of anything content creation, and I still fucked it up.
Corey,
here's the thing.
I may shit talk a lot, but let's be perfectly honest. I would never be able to do even a remote fraction of what magic you can put on. Seriously, like, you got some mad skills, bro.
Thanks. Also, anybody who's watching, stay to the end. Watch to the end.
Corey's going to flash himself.
He does, actually.
Stay till the end.
All right. So
I promise you'll be happy.
While it's still fresh in my brain, circling back to what we were talking about just a moment ago, like there's obvious pressure in and it's not just the American society, it's society in general. I've been paying attention to this narrative for a while now, because like it's almost like a hyper focus for me now. I'm not sure when it started, but like I keep hearing men are supposed to, like, be the providers and stuff. Like, they're supposed to be the ones that take care of all the stuff for the family and stuff like that. Whereas women, are most fulfilled, like married, having kids, being nurturers and stuff like that. Which I don't know, I have this modern outlook. I have this more modern outlook for the world, because I'm not saying that's not how it's supposed to be, but I feel like, just looking at how the world is right now, like that's not what it ultimately should be. Because I mean, like if a woman who is a wife, wants to go out and, like, get a successful career and whatnot and stuff like that, it does not take away from whatever the husband, wants to do and stuff of that nature, stuff like that. Like, shoot, like this will probably make me sound like a quote low value man, but shoot, like, there's some times when I would like it, like, if I were to have a wife, like, if she met my salary or surpassed my salary in her own job or endeavors and stuff like that, like, I could be a working class person and she could be a business owner or whatnot, things of that nature and stuff like that, but like the whole crazy ass narrative, like, for example, like what we mentioned a moment ago, where like, in the eyes of some people, Stephanie has not made it unless she's married like a high status person, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer or something like that, even though she has a doctorate in her a doctorate title in her name, stuff like that, and it's just wild that society still has these hangups, about shit like that,
Well, it's been that way for thousands and thousands of years. I mean, the Bible pretty much sets up the standard of women are subservient to the men.
Mm-hmm.
So that's ingrained.
There's this movie that's that's on my list of movies to watch. What's it called? It's oh god, the movie's called it's basically a movie where, like, a husband and wife duo, like, they work for the same company. They both hold like the same position. She gets a promotion that elevates her salary, like, higher than his. And apparently, like, as the movie plans out, like the husband starts feeling some type of way about it. And I'm like, in my opinion, that's kind of bullshit. And that's kind of the whole that's kind of the whole thing why misogyny is is real and stuff like that, because like for the simple fact is, like instead of him being a supportive husband and like celebrating her success and everything, he's all butthurt because like she obviously like like all of a sudden has the status of being the breadwinner. Like I give a fuck. Like both of us are the breadwinner. If like we're making sure like the bills are paid, like stomachs are full and stuff like that. I don't care who the fuck's doing it.
Yeah, listen, hey, I have no problem being subservient to my man once in a while, but I think the hang up really more
like
for
that
me
means
is
something else.
it's just like, why does it always have to be doctor? Not every single person on this planet can be a doctor. The world wouldn't function that way. Someone's got to be the plumber. Someone's got to be the electrician. Someone's got to be working in public. I don't know. Like there's got to be something for everybody. I mean, that's why kind of my parents, again, whenever I talk about them, please know that I love them. They have a very hard time accepting that my current partner is a carpenter. It's the worst thing that could happen to them. He is still financially stable, and if you really had to put it in that way, he could support me in quotes, but so like doesn't need to be a doctor to do that.
Yeah. The movie I was talking about is called Fair Play. It came out last year.
What's called Fair Play?
Fair Play, yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. The synopsis goes off the heels off their new engagement. Thriving New York couple Emily and Luke can't get enough of each other. When a coveted promotion at a cutthroat financial firm arises, supportive exchanges between the lovers begin to sour into something more sinister. As the power dynamics irrevocably shift in their relationship, Luke and Emily must face the true price of success and the unnerving limits of ambition. And you know what? I like that unnerving limits of ambition. Like it's wild that women actually stifle themselves just to not hurt their men's ego.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts. Look, if my wife made more money than me, I'd be super happy because that means we could afford more things. I can play more video games.
Do you understand when I say like what? Because I'm from a military background and stuff like that. And when I got out of the military, when I got out of the military, I told myself I'd be open to becoming a dependent, like marrying someone that's in the military and becoming their dependent.
Actually, I have a little bit of a fear that kind of with almost like I don't want it. I don't want the pressure to be the breadwinner, to be honest with you. Not that I need the man to be the breadwinner. Can we just like both be breadwinners? I don't want that.
Well, I mean, you're living there right now though, because you're head of household. According to your tax status.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you claim a dependent that lives with you, like you're head of household on your tax filings.
Not necessarily.
Winning that bread. Hey.
I get it.
What's on that bread?
Maybe some cheese. If I can afford it, maybe some meat.
You can afford cheese?
I can only pick one.
Meat.
I know. In this economy, right?
No, listen, this is embarrassing to admit. Because of certain trips and planning, my budget was tighter than I had calculated it out to be. And after learning that we will most likely not be, I can't really talk about it, but like work-related things have not turned out financially the way I was planning on it. I had to cut on my groceries. I only spent $25 only on the food for my son, and I'm living off of like canned food in my house until I run that out so I could save some money. So yeah, I made a really delicious chili made out of canned peas, canned corn, canned chickpeas, canned tomatoes, and rice. It's good.
It sounds good.
God damn.
So I'm definitely breadwinner. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway.
He's a breadwinner that needs some bread.
Yeah. Well, Well, rice is my carb in that dish. But yes, the dynamic between male, female, gender roles, job roles.
All I'm gonna say about this, and this is not just directed at men, because women can also feel some type of way about this shit too. Get over yourselves. Like, if you have a loving and devoted spouse and whatnot, like, like, find that fucking middle ground, but definitely don't hold one person's success back because like, for whatever, like, I'm just gonna call it selfish. Just don't hold your spouse back from their glory.
Yep.
Like, if all of a sudden, like your wife has had, like, you guys have said, okay, we're having 3 kids. Your wife has had child number 3, and all of a sudden she wants to go back to school, get her degree and whatnot, and pick up where her career path left off before she met your ass. Do it. Let her do it. If your husband has had this wild-eyed dream of becoming an entrepreneur, and not so much breaking away from his 9-to-5 job or his guaranteed income, but scaling it back to do this, support him. But of course, have the realism. Be like, hey, like, let's have the talk real quick. If you're gonna do this, if you're gonna go to college and do this, let's make sure other things are right. So nothing falls apart at home, and vice versa for the husband that wants to be like that dude and do something. Just have those conversations, because I think that's the problem with a lot of families, spouse dynamics. No one wants to have the talk. They just kind of want to do the thing and see what happens, and then the talk happens, and then everything is out of whack at that point.
You know what they say? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
You can't run a family in a ruination and then ask for forgiveness. You can't do that.
There are plenty of other situations I feel like that does not apply.
I feel like the 3 primary nails in a coffin that would lead to divorce is finance, children, and sex. Yep. Those 3 are not completely exclusive, but those are usually cited as the top 3.
Yeah, children and finances, I believe, are definitely higher on the list than sex, because by the time you get to children, you should have figured out if you're sexually compatible enough with your mate.
Yeah, but I also feel like after children, usually one partner will just not want to have sex. Usually it's the female. Not always, right? Not always, but I've heard stories. They're like, yeah, just doesn't like one family, friend couple of our friend couple, whatever. Ever, and the wife's not a wonderful woman, wonderful mother, but she doesn't want to have sex, and she hasn't had sex since she had her kid, and the kid's like 11 now. 11 years, 0 sex.
I'm curious, how's the husband dealing?
He's really struggling to keep it together. He's like, can I go to a strip club or something? He's asking her for permission. Like, I need something, anything. She goes, no, I don't want to let you go to a strip club. Nothing. Won't give him nothing.
I feel like this is a conversation in itself right there. I feel like this could be the topic, even though I think we have a topic that we want to get to tonight for this episode. So let's pin that, because like I think in all honesty, like there's a real problem with like, and it's not even that people like impose it on each other, because like a lot of times like children suck all those hormones out of women when they have them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that every woman has the capacity to be frigid, but like sometimes they use up so much like internal energy to have the kids and stuff like that it there's no bounce back from it and stuff like that. So but grown adults that are mature and stuff need to realize like, hey, like something has definitely changed with me and stuff like that. And I love my spouse, but I also need to figure out how we can come together and figure some things out on that. Like shit, because like I mean, like he's just asking to go to a strip club right now, but I mean it's probably gonna get crazy like sooner or later, And that's the scary part, because like like a lot of times like miscommunication and lack of communication, all of a sudden someone's doing something and like trust is broken, even though trust was broken long before like the offensive thing happened.
Yeah.
We'll say that for another day. have me like pull out my notebook and paper and like do my psychoanalyst thing, because I swear like I should have gone to college for psychiatry or psychology, like one or the two. Like I forget which one. Who can prescribe medication?
Psychiatrist.
That's the one then.
Yeah. No, honestly, seriously, you could just open up a practice right now and call yourself a psychotherapist. You don't need a degree for that.
I'm pretty sure I would get sued.
No, you don't need a degree for that. Trust me, I study psychology. Anyone can be a psychotherapist.
Psychotherapist.
Wow.
A psychotherapist uses talk therapy to treat people for emotional problems and mental illness. Depending on what degree and specialty they get, psychotherapists can be. Wait, hold on. It says they need a degree.
Not necessarily. Anyone can open a practice. It's not regulated.
Does a psychotherapist need a medical degree? Here we go. Let's see. Minimum requirement for a therapist, counselor, or social worker is a master's degree in psychology, counseling, or similar discipline.
Not the way I heard it.
Yeah, in the state of Virginia, they'd fuck me up if I did this. I want to do this. Maybe I should. You know what? Maybe I should go. Me and a friend, we told ourselves we told ourselves this, like we should either go to school for psychology or we should go to school for law, because on the law side, like we can definitely make sure like people's rights are not infringed upon. Like we'll fight to make sure the government's not taking shit away from common people, or as psychologists and stuff like that, we can help people figure their shit out and become better adults. To become a psychotherapist, you need to earn a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university, earn a master's degree in psychology, counseling, or social work from an accredited college or university, earn a PhD. Okay, that's already 13 years of college right there.
Pass.
And 9 times out of 10, you have to have taken the MCATs at some point, because like you could have someone that has an anxiety attack and passes out on your floor.
And CPR certification, I guess, then.
Been there.
All right. Who's got a topic for us tonight?
Like any of you haven't seen somebody passed out on your floor for one reason or another.
Yo, question. Steph, I know you are a pharmacist. Do you carry Narcan with you?
Yes, I do have my own supply of Narcan.
Okay.
I got certified and trained, and so they give you like a pack.
Oh, wait. You have to have some type of like training. You and your field.
No. I'm not saying every single person needs to be certified. I just also happen to be a certified person.
What is Narcan specifically? Is it just glorified smelling salts?
It's not glorified smelling salts. It's for opioid overdose. Because of the way it interacts with the receptors, which can help reverse an OD for anyone that's like oxy, any sort of narcotic opioid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so it's an actual drug, naloxone, that gets into the system.
Okay, because I've seen the vials for it, and I'm like, is that just smelling salts? Like what?
You spray it in each nostril.
Yeah. It's like a nasal thing. Yeah. Yeah. Corey, Pat, I'm assuming you guys do not carry Narcan?
I've never even heard of it, so no. Sorry.
Okay.
I at least know what it is, but no.
Narcan is becoming... It's funny because Narcan is becoming more and more prevalent, even though like it feels like the opioid epidemic has kind of calmed down some, Because
we got fentanyl now.
Got who? What?
We got fentanyl now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I was curious about that, like if I associated myself with people that were doing like these type of things recreational, maybe I would start carrying Narcan. I of course do not do this stuff, so But if I knew people in my circle that were doing it, I probably would start carrying some just to be sure, you know. But 9 times out of 10, I'm always like in the house, like playing video games or recording podcasts. So how so how would I know if someone's having an opioid emergency if I'm always in the fucking house?
It would be one of us. I think that's probably frowned upon to do that on the show.
Yeah, probably.
And I've heard some horror stories about people being revived with that stuff and like immediately attacking their reviver. Like,
well, yeah, because they kind of get shell shocked back and might even feel withdrawal. Some people get very angry, like, why the F? Why am I saying why the F? This is After Dark. Why the fuck are you doing that? No, yeah, which is not to like argue against using it, but like it's kind of messed up.
Here we go. Like, yeah, look, I just woke you up. Now I gotta knock you the fuck out. Like, you better count your blessings.
Yeah, I have a quick story. It unfortunately doesn't have to do with knocking people out, and I was not there, but I was speaking to an EMT. And he's like, we have this habitual person that we have rescued from an opioid overdose at least 4 times. And we keep rescuing this individual with Narcan, and every single time the person's, when they wake up, they're like, oh, whoops, I did it again. And they're like, dude, can you? He's like, well, no, then you'll just come spray Narcan in my nose. I'll be fine. I know it's a rarity, but I'm like, gosh, you know, you.
Jeez.
I could not do what EMTs do. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's a hard job. That's a hard job. Like I know a couple people who are EMTs. They're either EMTs or they're in the fire department, and they have to moonlight as an EMT because of the fire department they're with and stuff like that. And yeah, I've heard some stuff, and it's like, and yeah, I've had a friend tell me one time. He was like one of his shifts was so hard he thought about walking into traffic.
One of his shifts was so hard.
Yeah, that he thought about walking into traffic after it was over. He said he basically drove around town for 2 hours after his shift was over because like he did not know how he was going to be composed when he went home to his wife and kid.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Well, on that positive note,
enough of that. Who has a topic?
I do, but I would like to do a quick shout out to my friend. I know we mentioned a previous After Dark that there's a show called Open to It. My buddy from high school, I didn't go to high school with him because I went to an all-girls school, but we compete in speech competitions. Frank Smith partnered up and created a series called Open to It. I'm just going to read you a quick synopsis of it. And he appeared with his partner on Netflix's Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. So if you've seen that series, you've seen them. But this show, Open to It, is a new comedy. It's about a loving gay couple that experiments with becoming a hot gay throuple. So they try the threesome thing. But threesome sex and open relationships have more complications than limbs. I was able to see the first episode. It was really the writing was fantastic. The acting was great.
Wait, the first episode wasn't that the one where they were both going to go out and somebody ate something that was bad and
bad ceviche.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, bad, yeah, because I saw 2 episodes. So yeah, the ceviche episode, and I can't remember what happened in the second episode because my boyfriend and I we watched it as one or part of. It wasn't Sundance. It was one of the festivals because my boyfriend he's a cinema major.
Not Outfest, was it?
It was Outfest. It was Outfest last year. No, not last year. Wait. It was last year, but it wasn't. Shit. How long ago was that?
I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while, just so everyone knows, they have quite a few episodes in season 1 out now and available. You can catch it on Prime Video, or that'll take you guys to Out TV. So again, please check it out. It's called Open to It. It's a wonderful, hilarious comedy. I appreciate the representation of LGBTQ relationships in there. So just wanted to give them a shout out. I need to catch up. I know I do.
Yeah, I need to catch up.
That episode was published on April 30th, 2022. Last time we talked about that.
Okay, so that means that I saw it in the subsequent months. So I think the weather had already changed by that point. So I probably saw it in the fall at one of those festivals.
So yeah, with that shouted out. My topic is kind of a recent thing, and at high level has to do with travel safety. So here's the background. I am planning a vacation with my son during his April vacation. After a very successful trip to Nintendo World last year, I thought it would be a great bonding mother-son tradition to go on a trip every year. Budget constraints, I might not be able to take him anywhere fancy, but I do want to establish a tradition, something for us to do. And so when I asked him what he'd want to do for his second vacation and kind of poking and prodding, I kind of got a sense he wanted to do something either outdoorsy, adventure-y, and he mentioned, I'd like to swim with sea turtles. So there are various Caribbean islands where you can do that. Probably one of the more affordable ones I could go to was Nassau, Bahamas. And I opened up a credit card and put a down payment on a trip to Nassau, Bahamas for April vacation.
Okay.
And then in the news, on January 24th, the U.S. Embassy in Nassau, the capital of the Bahamas, issued a security alert advising U.S. citizens to be aware that 18 murders have occurred in Nassau since the beginning of 2024. Murders have occurred at all hours, including broad daylight and in the streets.
Call your travel agent right now.
Yeah, so currently
18 is pretty damn high for 31 days.
Yeah, 31 days. Yeah.
Bahamas is currently at a travel advisory level 2, exercise increase caution warning. Although, as a caveat, many tourism places in the Caribbean, like Costa Rica and Dominican, they also have level 2 warnings. And I believe the Prime Minister, Philip Davis, responded that the murders, quote, do not reflect the general safety in the Bahamas. So I got these articles from Sun Sentinel as well as the New York Times. So I'm a little conflicted because I do also know that the media kind of likes to over-exaggerate things. In fact, the New York Times initially published their article in error stating that the United States raised the threat level, security level to 2. Turns out it always was at 2, but the embassy did report the 18 murders. I'm on the fence because 18 is a lot for 30 days, or it was announced on the 24th, so 24 days. But at the same time, if technically the advisory is 2, like other countries that I've been to, am I really being that reckless if I'm going to take my son directly to the resort and we're just staying in the resort? I just thought I'd pick your brain about travel advisories to when you, not that I'm not taking this, like when do you take them seriously? Or if you do, would you immediately not go? Like, Corey, you have kids. Like, does it change things when you have kids? I know, LeRon, you mentioned travel agent. I don't have a travel agent. So I just kind of planned this on my own. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about, like, what would you do? And what are your thoughts? And so on and so forth.
Well, we kind of go through and make a list of, like, things to keep track of with them specifically. Now, granted, we are about to go to Disney World in a couple days as of this recording. So the thing about that is, and my son's not going to have one, so we got to figure that out. But you have the magic bands, right? And my daughter has one, and like they track you in the park with those. So like if a kid gets lost, they can look up your reservation number and find where all the magic bands in your reservation are, and you can like pretty much just find your missing person. which is awesome and scary at the same time that they can do that. But we kind of just try to keep tabs on the kids, and we try to make sure they're with us if we're walking and hand holding. And now, granted, my kids are much younger, right? Or not much younger, but younger, 5 and 2.5, 3. I don't know. My son will be 3 in a couple weeks ish. And so, we make lists. We make sure they know like what's safe and what's not, and what's okay to do and what's not, and where they can go without us and how far they can go without us. And my son is still at that age where he doesn't want to like leave us, but also when he sees Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck, he'll like sprint off and run towards them because he thinks whatever. So yeah, but I mean, my daughter's a little bit older and she's in school and she's a little bit more, she likes to be alone and by herself and do her own thing. And so we, like, when we're in a crowded place like Disney, or when we went to the beach last year, like, we have to really tell her like what's okay and what's not. And so, and like, if you're lost, go to somebody with a name tag, right? Like, go up to one of the rides and say you're lost, or something along those lines. But you can never be too careful. I think we've become a little overprotective. Now, this is my opinion, but in a good way, right? Like, because no parent wants to see their kid get lost or get hurt or anything, and so we're always constantly overthinking things, but also like it may have saved us in a situation or two before. So, like, don't go outside at night by yourself if you're a child, or ever really.
Yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, if you're going to a resort, usually the resorts are safe. Like, those kind of things happen when you are outside of the resort and exploring things that are not really considered the touristy parts. And also the resort probably has like someone there, a concierge or a security like detail that will tell you what is safe to do and what you should avoid. So I would think you would be in pretty good you'd be in a safe environment if you just stuck to the resort. That's my 2 cents.
Very good point.
Yeah, I'm also in the in league with Pat there. Like, if you're at a resort, like chances are, like, like you're pretty much good to go. Because I'm not sure what amenities and whatnot, but they try to give you the experience of being there without so much like you having to travel all over the place and do things, right? Because I feel like where a lot of tourists, and particularly Americans, get into trouble is they go out into the town, and either they act like like they're untouchable, or they act like the biggest freaking tourist ever in the world and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm one of those people where like I want to travel and see more of the world, but I feel like the world has gotten so unsafe for me, an American, at this point now, that I can't go to places that I originally wanted to go to when, like, I'm 48 years old. Like, back when I was 28, I would have loved to have gone to Moscow, like places out in Russia, or like, or even like places out. I would even places out like in China and like Asian territories and stuff like that. But now it's like, you know what? Like, I just scream American, so like can't go to the Middle East, like not without like people with me, and stuff like that. So yeah, like I feel like it's just a different world we live in, and the fact that like geopolitical climates and stuff like that do not make it easy for the most run of the mill tourists and stuff like that. It's not like I'm some scared ass bitch. I would love to go to these places, but I'm not trying to be like that person that's got a newspaper talking about how my captors are going to like behead me, you know.
Yeah, I do feel like traveling as an American has completely shifted from when I was growing up, and sometimes I'm like a little overly apologetic or try to hide my Americanness, even though there's no way I can hide my Americanness. Um, Generally speaking, when I travel, I try to take into account like don't I'm the kind of person like I don't like to dress obnoxiously like dripping in jewels, not that I own any, or you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people like to flash their wealth. Like
Yeah.
when
Or
when
just
I'm
flash.
yeah, I would actually dress like I'm probably not financially stable, like I accurate like basically yeah, don't flaunt material things. I do like to go out and explore, but especially with my kid, it's not an all-inclusive resort, but I do know it's closer to downtown, so like I would probably take him to just high foot traffic areas, like very populated downtown areas if we need to go out and find a place to eat.
Again, ask the concierge, and the
Yeah.
concierge will point you to what is the safest and more popular places.
You know what sounds kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily a hot take or not, but I almost kind of feel a certain way now when I read something like that, like, ooh, the Bahamas, not safe. But I'm like, in the United States, we have so much gun violence, for example. Like,
Yeah, we have so
uh,
much bullshit going on in our own damn country. I
I
wonder
was
how
like,
I wonder how the tourists feel about coming to our country.
exactly. Like I kind of, as I get older, I pause. I'm like, would I be any safer as a foreign tourist coming to the U.S.? I'm pretty sure they're kind of wondering, like, hey, well, if I walk down the streets of New York, am I gonna get shot? Like,
We
I
still
don't
got
know.
I've
we still
actually
got
read stories
assholes.
about this. It's kind of funny. Like they are advised. They say it's typically safe. Again, stay more towards the populated areas, and just know that Americans carry guns. Like they are forewarned about the fact that we're basically can carry wherever.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But
I feel like, oh,
we're
finish.
treated,
Sorry.
we're still treated as safe. Just there's some forewarnings there.
hmm Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what gave me a bit pause. Like, I don't want to necessarily be like, kind of come in, like, I come from the safest place on earth and I'm going into a war zone. But I think I, I don't know, I'm extra hesitant because I'm bringing my child, right? Like, it really changes the game. But, that's really great advice. And now I feel like I probably still will lean on going because I did consider a little bit, like, whether or not I should
Mhm.
cancel. I don't know if I can actually money-wise, but I still was considering it. Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
But
No, fortunately, sharks don't play by those rules. So
no.
once you're in the water, it's fair game.
Well, speaking of water, it was a different article when I first read it. I just can't find the same article. They also said, "Oh, careful, like some of the tourist things that you can do, like they aren't regulated. You could just be on someone's rickety old boat that hasn't been I don't know, accredited or inspected and some 73-year-old woman drowned. I don't know. I just feel like, again, if I just talk to the concierge or find a place that's highly rated by thousands of people, I'd say as long as I don't go with an obscure one, right? Like, I don't know.
The one that'll show you the best spots that no one else knows on
Yeah, I
their
don't know.
shady, rickety boat. Then you're the only passenger.
Yeah, maybe not go for that.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still kind of getting used to travel. Remember when the Bahamas or the Caribbean, they were trying, I think it was during COVID and they were discouraging tourists,
Hmm.
right?
Mhm.
And now this is a completely different thing. So, all right, well, that was my topic. Travel safety and travel advisory and weighing the actual risks of bodily harm when you leave the
No.
country.
Don't go out there and do anything that just screams American.
I'm
like it's not. I mean, it's not like you're already not hard to pick out in the crowd.
Especially with me with my bright red hair.
I'm really when we go to PAX, this will only be the second time ever I've traveled by myself.
Really?
Don't worry, Boston is wicked safe. No,
it's not. Those drivers are freaking insane. You're gonna get run over.
Aren't the Wahlbergs from Boston?
Yes.
Well, it's not that safe for people my skin tone.
Don't go to as long as you don't go to Southie.
I'm being
no,
stupid.
Just don't go to Southie. Southie is the place that's been just really like of all parts of Boston. If people say Boston's racist, it's only because of Southie.
Oh,
are they filled with the Irish?
The off the boat Irish people.
Nice.
That explains it.
That's where I went on a date with an off the boat Irish bartender, and that's where they broke out into a bar fight in front of me just because a guy started talking to me. It's insane. Like, it's kind of amusing but scary. So don't worry, guys. I'll protect you in Boston.
All right. Oh, I mean, she's the local yokel, so yeah, like definitely.
But apparently, according to Patrick, maybe not via car.
Nah, it's not her that was the problem. It's literally everyone else that drove like a freaking maniac. And seriously, those drivers scare me.
And you could see like a minor stroke just growing. Like my, I was. Whew.
All right, we ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Well, wonderful show, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for letting me pick your guys' brains.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what we're here for. And on that note, that's a wrap for tonight's episode. We want to thank everyone out there who's been watching or listening to the Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative topical podcast show. I missed that. The alternative topical podcast for adults on the Boss Rush Network. I missed that earlier at the beginning, so I'll make sure to remember to say that next time. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a 5-star rating and a nice review on the podcast services. And also, like, out there on YouTube, subscribe. Give us a like. Comment. It really helps us with discoverability and visibility. Also, podcast side, give us a rating. Drop a review. We would love you for it. As always, you know what to do. Everything that you need to know about this show and the Boss Rush Network is in the show notes, so check them out wherever you're consuming this show at. We'll be back next week with another wonderful topic here. Pat, Corey, Stephanie, thank you. It's always wonderful. All right.
Thank you.
We're out of here. Y'all have a good night. We love you, and we'll be thinking about you as we get ready to come back for our next show. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Go marry a doctor.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.